What's up guys, Ricky C here and welcome to my Marcus Ericsson Sauber career mode. We're currently sitting in 7th. Last time out in Canada we had a pretty standard kind of race. It was a little bit dull here and there. Finished 5th, before that 4th in Monaco. Before that we were 4th in Spain, I think it was Spain. So we're kind of building up the season a little bit. The first 4 races were disastrous to say the least. But hopefully we can come to Austria and get another decent result. We're still looking for our first podium, of course. So that's going to be something we're going to want to get as soon as possible. And with, I don't know, the mid-season coming up, we want to gather some points. We've only got 40 at the moment. So, you know, we need to start upping it a little bit. And in this practice session, it was absolutely drenched with water to start with anyway. I think it came into towards the end of the session. Yep, you can see there. We didn't get a good lap time in. We set our time in the first like 10 minutes, so you can expect as the track gets better from the water being moved off the track, we should probably have gone out and got a good time, but it doesn't really matter. Hopefully the conditions won't be wet and quite okay.
Saturday afternoon, and that means it's qualifying here in Austria. Welcome to the Red Bull Ring. Most of today's current crop of racing drivers haven't driven this track before, so adding in the elements of rain should provide us with a fascinating qualifying session.
The drivers should be up to speed for the dry weather, with some track running and dozens of hours in the simulator. But one thing that can't prepare you for are these tricky conditions, so it may take some time for the less experienced drivers to readjust.
So jumping into qualifying, we're going to have quite a long breakdown of qualifying here because it was quite interesting. To start off, it was full wet weather, and as we know, we're not very good in the full wet from practice, and we're 6/10 down on Ricardo already, which is a car we should be beating in qualifying. But we jumped 6 minutes into the session, there or thereabouts anyway. We're 7th, just behind Nazir, our teammate who's in 6th. We're 3 tenths behind him, so that's quite worrying because throughout the season we've consistently been about 5-6 tenths, maybe sometimes more, faster than him. But we're the first car to jump onto Inters, and straight away we get in with a 16.7, 1.7 seconds ahead of Vettel. The next lap we do one straight after, we go a couple of tenths faster, 1 tenth faster. So that's looking really good for us at the moment. That gamble seemed to have paid off, but now with 5 minutes to go, every single car is out there with Inters on. And with the track drying minute by minute, we're going to need to jump out there as soon as possible, because in the last 5 minutes every single car is going to do better and better lap times because of track evolution. Look, yeah, we've been thrown down to 6th. With 20 seconds to go, we're going to be the last car across the line, so that's good for us in that perspective. We're going to get the track when it's best with a new set of Inters on. And going across the line any moment now. No DRS because it's too wet, so it'll be disabled by now. Some cars still sitting in the pit lane. Going into turn 1, we brake at about 100 metres, clip the curb on the right and then run over the exit curb on the left, which we do absolutely lovely. Really, really good first turn there. Going up through the gears now, as we can see, qualifying's been complete, and we've only just put the car up into Rich. No, was it already there? And again, you brake at the 100-metre board going up the hill, because it's kind of an uphill slope. That helps with the braking. And we've actually set a purple first sector, so this lap is looking really, really good. Rosberg's done a 14.4, which the game is shoving down our throats. And again, you brake at about 110 metres there. Get down to 3rd gear, do a late apex, down to 2nd gear, and then shift back up again to 3rd gear, so you kind of cancel any wheel spin and get the car turned in properly with engine braking. Now going into left-hander turn 5, you want to get as wide entry as possible. Clip the curb maybe a little bit to drag you around the corner, and then again hit the apex, hit the outside curve on the right. And then to finish off this middle sector, we come through this little left-right shimmy here, 4th, and then maybe 5th gear in the wet. You probably stick in 5th gear in the dry end qualifying. And to finish off the lap, going into turn 8, you want to brake as late as possible, go down to 4th or 5th gear, back up to 5th again, and then for final corner of turn 9, down to 3rd gear, swoop around there perfectly, and to finish we get a 1:15.5, only improved by a tenth, so not really a great lap in the end. And the track hasn't really suited us throughout the weekend so far. What 1.1 seconds down on Rosberg, so that's not ideal. But Ericsson's pretty happy, 6th. We've probably met the objective of Sauber, so that's good.
Fantastic qualifying result from Nico Rosberg, and a performance which should see him targeting now a race win tomorrow.
It certainly was a qualifying lap to remember, but he'll be wanting to convert it into a race win tomorrow. I think after that performance, he's in with a great chance.
So a pretty good qualifying in the end, 6th, 3 places ahead of Nazir. Can't really ask for too much more, 3 tenths ahead of Nazir, so that's good. Rosberg's got pole, and Hamilton's the big loser, down in last place. Didn't even get a time in, 20th. Goodness gracious.
2 hours outside of Vienna is Spielberg, a spectacular circuit with dense forests and rolling hills as a backdrop. What a destination for today's race. Time to get ready For the Austrian Grand Prix, pole position can only be secured by one driver, and the lucky gentleman goes by the name of Nico Rosberg this weekend. You wouldn't bet against the German driver pressing his Mercedes to victory today.
It really was a great performance from him yesterday, and I think he'll be feeling very confident that he can push on and win today's race. Unless he has car trouble or a bit of bad luck, he should be untouchable.
The dominant force so far this season has been Mercedes. They have the best car and two of the best drivers on the grid. It's hard to not see them maintaining their ascendancy throughout the rest of the season.
Mercedes have such a great setup, they have great leadership, and in Lewis and Nico they have two drivers that are capable of winning the World Championship. I guess their hardest challenge is trying to manage the intense competition between their drivers.
I turned my exports off after getting the intro and all that recorded. Turned it back on again, and for some odd reason F1 had changed the weather to dry. I think their rain is still in the air though, so hopefully later on we'll see some rain. Anyway, sitting on the grid now, waiting for the lights to go out, and away we go. We've got an okay start. It looks like Hulkenberg up the outside might have a fantastic start, so we'll have to see where he goes with that. Verstappen's all over us, but are we going to jump up the inside of Hulkenberg into turn 1? We have done. He's fucked it and lost the position to Verstappen. He went really wide for some reason there, so I'm not sure what that's about. Anyway, we've got Massa trying to get in the double slipstream of the Ferraris going up the hill. We've got a quad slipstream going up the inside of Ricciardo into turn 2. We've ridden the curb quite a lot, maybe a bit of a cut there. But we've got the position from Ricciardo. He's actually going side by side still as Massa goes side by side with Vettel. He seems like he's got more straight line speed with that Mercedes. Diving down into turn 3 now. Vettel's jumped up the inside. He's hanging it with Massa still. He's kind of pushing him wide. We've gone a little bit wide on the grass. Massa was on the grass, but he's still going for the position. Looks like he's got it ahead of Vettel. And now Ricciardo's challenging on our outside. How is this going to end? We've just got to squeeze him out here surely onto the curb. Yeah, we have done that, and we've got ahead of Ricciardo. So we just need to focus on keeping right up in the rear wing of Vettel and Massa, so we can try and hopefully use the speed of their car to get away from the rest of the pack. We've kind of got a little bit of a gap to Ricciardo, 5/10 already. Rosberg's off into the distance, so can Vettel get ahead of Massa and then do something about Raikkonen? That's the real question here, because obviously Vettel wants to be beating Raikkonen in the same car as him. We've hit the back of Vettel going up the hill towards turn 2. Vettel's jumping up the inside of Massa. We've braked really late. Almost hit, well, we have hit Vettel. We've got a little bit sideways on the apex. Just about survived that. Ricciardo might have a bit of a run on us now. As we can see from the rear wing of Vettel going up the inside of Massa into turn 3. Can he finally get this move done? He must be getting quite frustrated there. Raikkonen hasn't really made much of a gap, so it's not too bad for Vettel. But they're still going side by side where the track kind of squeezes in for turn 5, so I'm not sure how this is going to work out. They're almost rubbing wheels. Vettel's getting really brave around the outside. Massa does not want to let this position go. I mean, he wants third place right now, sorry. So this is a top 4 fight at the moment. We're right on the rear wing of Massa now. That's helped us catch up. Ricciardo's fallen back just a tiny bit with the rest of the pack. Massa's going up the inside of turn 8. That's not an overtaking spot, but he's still trying to make it work. They're still side by side going into turn 9. We've now got an opportunity on the outside of Massa. We don't have DRS because obviously it's not activated within the first 2 laps. We will be getting it anytime soon though. Massa's going up the inside into turn 1. Is he going to get brave on Vettel? No, he can't surely. He hasn't, but he's going to have a really bad exit out of turn 1. He's got on the curb and now we're going to go up the inside. We just need the slipstream of Vettel, otherwise we're not going to be able to get this position. We've got the slipstream of Vettel now. Massa's just on the outside at the moment. He's now got the slipstream of Vettel and going up the outside. You can see the kind of overspeed that he had there, which is crazy. We jumped ahead of Massa into the slipstream and DRS of Vettel, but we've opened the DRS too early and we've got sideways, and now Massa's hitting us everywhere. He's going to go up the inside into turn 3. This race is crazy so far. We've actually hit side pod to side pod. Now going into turn 5, side by side again. Massa's loving this race at the moment. He's hanging it out there. Can he do what Vettel did to him? He can't. We've squeezed him out, so perfect. We're up into 4th spot now. Just ahead of Massa, just ahead of Ricciardo. Naz is in that pack back there some, but wearing out. But now we've got a little bit of a break. We get to see the starts of Verstappen. I got a lot of wheel spin, and then he seemed to not really know where to go into turn 1. And then you can see, oh wow, Hulkenberg got squeezed out there and then hit by Verstappen. So, yeah, you can see the launch of Hulkenberg was amazing, but he didn't go on the inside. He should have jumped up into the inside, and they would have had a really good run on Ricciardo. But I don't know, he got a bit scared by us. He mustn't have known where we were, and he just got really wide, and then Verstappen came along, almost hit him, almost ended his race, really. But now on lap 4, we've got Massa just behind us. We've got Vettel making a bit of a gap now. And as we can see now, because of the recent update, we've now got information about our car. And yet Massa's actually got a run on us. We're going to have to go defensive into turn 3. It seems like it should be pretty simple. Yeah, just go to the inside, squeeze him out. We got on the dirt a bit. But when you have the same tyres as someone, that's a really, really easy move to, defensive move to pull off. I mean, if we had 3 or 4 lap older tyres than Massa there, he could have just done the cut back on us. But on lap 6, we can see our tyres are yellow. You wouldn't have to pit stop now, but I mean, as you can see, we're struggling in the middle sector. Vettel's got a gap of 2.5 seconds after 6 laps. The temperatures of the tyres are boiling hot, so we've decided this is it now. We're going to jump into the pit stop, get the undercut. Should be a 2-stop race, but we're thinking 3 stops, option, prime, and see what we can do about, I don't know, a top 3 finish. Because, yeah, with the Sauber's speed, we're going to have to do something weird, some kind of weird strategy to get us a top 3 finish podium. Unless something like a crash happens in the race. But it looks like we're going to come out in 19th, just about. As we hit the exit wall of the pit lane, that's not good. And you can see our tyres are stone cold. We've got Merry behind us, but he doesn't really have enough speed to get past us, so that's fine. Any other car might have jumped past us there, but that's good. And it seems like we've jumped quite a few cars in the pit stops, including our teammate, so up to 11th now. It's lap 9. We've done a fastest lap of 10.4, so that's not too bad, 1:10.4. Coming up behind Alonso now, shouldn't be the hardest overtake of the season, most difficult overtake of the season. Going into turn 1, up the inside, we should be absolutely fine. We'll just squeeze him out. He's actually pooed himself and gone wide. So that's a nice easy move. Lap 10, see if we can get Kvyat, and I think it's Button just up there ahead of Kvyat. Yep, lap 10, going into turn 3. We've got the DRS, we've got a Ferrari, he's got a Renault. Should be a simple move into turn 10. We've got nice fresh tyres as well, which Kvyat does not have, neither does Button. And we've made the move work, so that's another good position. And up into 6th, which is probably about net where we should be, maybe 6th or 5th. Past Button, going into turn 8. He shouldn't, no, he hasn't tried it on the inside there. He's actually got a little bit wide in turn 8 there. But we've got the position. Lap 10, P6, about 6 or so seconds behind Bottas, I imagine. Yep, 6.8 seconds. So we're looking in quite a good position here. Our lap times aren't spectacular. 10.4, I don't think it's the fastest lap of the race so far. I think it's probably a 09 something by Rosberg, but that is a Mercedes, they are fantastic. And coming out the pit line now, we've got Raikkonen, so can we jump ahead of Raikkonen? It looks like we might be able to. On the exit, we've got a massive amount of speed in fast Rich. We've jumped on the outside of Raikkonen. We should be far ahead of him by turn 2. And we've got the place, so that's good. Somehow we're 2/10 down on our first sector though, so I'm not sure what's happened there. There's only 1 turn in the whole sector, so being 2/10 down is a bit odd. We're in 2nd though, so it's quite a good place to be on lap 13. Going across the line to lap 13 now. 4.1 seconds behind Rosberg, and then you've got Vettel about 7 or so seconds behind Raikkonen. So we're in quite a good position to get maybe a podium here, even with this weird 2-stop strategy. But we're on board with Raikkonen now. He's got a run on us going into turn 2, but he's actually hit the back of us. We've gone spinning in circles. Totally ruined our race already. We've locked the tyres. We're going to have to spin round in circles. I mean, that's going to just totally ruin our strategy. Vettel's come flying past. Our tyres are going to be red raw, as you can probably see there. Okay, not so bad, but that's going to totally destroy them. We're going to have to pit stop now. Maybe a lap or 2 earlier than we really wanted to. So down to P4 now. We're going to lose places to, well, Nazir's the car behind us now, so we're going to lose a place to our teammate. And if he's only doing 1 stop, I mean, we could be finishing behind Nazir at the end of this race. We're going to drop down to P, probably about 14 by the time all these cars come rushing past us. They should be pretty easy, I don't know, meat cannon fodder to get past though, to be honest. Hamilton's actually in that pack, so he's not really got anywhere from the start. Going up the hill now towards turn 2. We've filtered in 14th, as I said. Up behind Kvyat for the 2nd time in the race now. We've got to get past him as soon as possible. No, we're not going to have a chance into turn 1. We almost mount the back of his rear wing and fly over him, but we're okay. And going up into turn 2 now, we've got the slipstream of Grosjean. Pretty easy move on Kvyat. Are we going to dive up the inside of Grosjean? We brake really, really late. We've done it down to 1st gear and then back up to 2nd to get a good exit. Just about got ahead of Grosjean. He's still on the outside though, but I think we've got much better speed in this Sauber. And we've got a slipstream and DRS of Sainz, so that's pretty good. Hamilton's just down the road in 10th, so that's the spot we want. We want to start getting some points soon, start making our way back up the field. And as you can see, Nazir's not actually too far behind. Too far ahead. He's just entering Sector 3 now, so maybe 10 seconds or so just ahead of us. We're 1.3 seconds behind Hamilton, so let's see what we can do about him. Lap 15, almost halfway through the race now. He's challenging Perez. He's gone past Perez, going up to turn 2. we are going to dive up the inside too, so that's another position gained. We're going to have DRS as well, so can we challenge Hamilton going into turn 3? We've got the DRS and the slipstream, but I'm not sure we'll be able to overtake that very, very, very slippery Mercedes going into turn 3. We haven't been able to. We've stayed behind him. About to go on to lap 17 anyway. Some more cars are diving into the pit, so we're going to gain a few more positions. Hopefully we're going to get one on Hamilton going into turn 1 now. We're in 9th, about to go up to 7th actually. Going into turn 1, Hamilton's got brave around the outside. I don't think he's quite known what he's doing. The AI seems to have some weird bug where they go way too wide there. Not a bug, but I don't know, just some kind of maybe error, coding error. They just go really, really wide in turn 1 if you go up the inside. Just to, I guess, to avoid a kind of... just to avoid, sorry, I'm trying to the engineer, just to avoid a incident is what I meant to say. And on lap 21, we're about to come into the pits, get our final set of tyres, as long as it doesn't rain. That is a big kind of big point to remember. Lap 22, prime tyres, let's go. Let's get to the end of this race. 14 laps on the prime tyres should be just about enough. I know we melt our tyres. And if we have another incident like we do against Raikkonen, we'll have to jump in and probably just get a set of options to finish the race. But hopefully, we're not going to get spun in circles by Raikkonen again. We actually filtered out in 9th place, just ahead of Verstappen. Again behind Button, I think for the 3rd or 4th time this race. We're going around the outside of turn 7 and down into turn 8. This should be pretty simple overtake. Button seems like it's going to go into the pit stop. Verstappen's continued behind us. P8 now, right behind Nazir, so let's see what we can do. Some more cars in the pit stop. So this is looking like a really, really good outing for Sauber, whereas in qualifying and practice, we didn't have that much hope. And Bottas on the right there, we've actually jumped Bottas, so now the pit stops have played out, we're actually into 6th. And it's going to soon be ahead of Nazir, because I know he has another, well, I'm pretty sure he has another stop. Actually, does he? No, yes, he does. He's got option tyres on. Definitely going to have to stop again. So let's see if we can make the move for full turn 1. It seems like we just about have. Yep, we've filtered in. And going into turn 1, just about ahead of Nazir. Didn't want to lose our teammate any time with that weird kind of coding thing where the AI go wide. So that's good for Nazir's race. That's good for my race. We want to get Sauber as many points as possible, remember, because we're trying to beat Red Bull in the championship. And on lap 26, it looks very dark, doesn't it? So is rain in the air? I mean, it could be. So light rain any moment now. And on lap 27, doesn't seem to be any rain at the moment. We're just about 1.3 seconds behind Massa, 1.4. Bottas is 3.5 behind, so Naz has just stopped for his final set of tyres, as we expected. And is that... So Bottas is now, 4 seconds behind. We've got Massa now getting held up by Stevens, so that's going to help us. We've now got DRS on lap 29, going into turn 1. And it looks like there's raindrops on the screen, but I can't see any rain on the actual race. And yeah, there was a little splash there on the curb. So Codemasters have yet again blessed us with a brilliant bug in that it rains and the track is wet, but there's no rain in the air. And we've jumped on the inside into turn 2. We've got all locked up, but that had to go down to gear 1 to try and engine brake and slow us down. We not crashed into Massa just about. He had to go on the curb. Now going into turn 3, are we going to do it again? I mean, it's wet. The track is wet. We can't see the rain coming down, but the track is wet, and we've locked up going into turn 3. We're side by side now with Massa. Seems like we've just about got ahead, about to go into turn 5. So that's a big place to make up. 12 points at the moment in the bag, if we can just keep this position. But the track is wet, so this is a bit treacherous. We can't see the rain coming down, so it's quite deceiving. And we've got on the grass a little bit there, which isn't what we want to do. You don't want to get on the grass when it's wet. Yeah, you can see broadcast camera there. There is a massive amount of raindrops on the screen there. And are we going to decide to come in? Because the tyres aren't that good at the moment. We have decided to come on. We've locked the rear brakes. We've gone wide, and it means Massa's going to come up the inside. We've hit this left rear wheel, but we're going to cut across the grass a little bit naughty to try and get in the pit lane to get some intermediate tyres and hopefully jump ahead of Massa. We'll have to see how it goes. Yeah, let's make sure I put the right tyres on. I have done. The rain is splashing off of the pit lane there. You can see off of the pit kind of balcony. So our last stop, 7 laps to go. Can we get out of the pit lane? Okay, we can, just about. And in 6th position, so we've lost 2 positions, 1 to Hamilton and 1 to Massa, but they're going to have to both pit stop. So can we make the most of pitting a lap early with these intermediate tyres, because the track is definitely intermediate weather. Yeah, we can see a whole host of cars there, and we're going to come out with a 7 or 8 second lead ahead of Massa and Hamilton? Surely. Going into turn 1, accelerating out of turn 1, we've got a good amount of traction, way more than we'd have if we still had primes on. And yeah, so what is that? Yeah, a 7 or 8 second lead. 12 seconds behind Vettel, so that place is not going to be viable, which is a bit of a shame as we get wide into turn 1. Could it be wet tyres soon? I mean, there's no point because there's only 2 laps to go. But yeah, thinking back to the earlier on in the race, the incident with Raikkonen has really damaged us because we could have had a top 3 easily, as loads of cars come in for wets, I believe, for the last lap, which is a little bit pointless. Gap is still 12.1 to Vettel, so we can see our intermediate pace as we get sideways. That always looks good. Our intermediate pace is quite good on the whole, but our dry pace really was not on here today. The only reason we kind of stayed in the top 6 for most of the race was because of the 3-stop strategy we decided to do, which has actually turned into a 4-stop strategy by now. But yeah, we're running on fumes. The red fuel light's flashing with a lap to go. It seems like we should be just about okay. The gap to Hamilton is still quite a lot. So we've lost about 5/10 there in the middle in first sector to Vettel, but that doesn't matter because we're not going to get that position anyway. But here we go, diving into the penultimate corner for the final time, the 36th lap out of 36. Rosberg's got his another race win this season, so he's dancing off into the distance of the championship. But here we go, after a pretty tricky race, we gather 12 points for Sauber, 4th place. I think Nasir had a good finish as well. That means now 3 out of the last 4 races, we've got 12 points and 4th place, and the other one we got 5th and 10 points, so what, that's 42 points? No, not 42, 46 points out of the last 4 races, so that's massive for our championship.
Great
Absolutely
win
massive.
today for the Silver Arrows of Mercedes-Benz. They certainly had the best car today.
It really was a wonderful performance, and one that the team will be celebrating for some time to come.
There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.
So here we go, we've got the final results. Nico Rosberg comes home to take another win this championship, 25 points. Raikkonen gets 2nd, Vettel 3rd, so good outing for Ferrari. We get 4th and 9th, so, you know, Nasir kind of fell off a little bit towards the end there, only got 2 points for us, but, you know, you win some, you lose some. He actually went for wet tyres, which maybe he shouldn't have done that. He would have probably gained some positions if he hadn't have done that. That's a bit annoying. Last place, Hulkenberg, poor old Hulkenberg. Ricardo didn't finish, so that's good for us. It looks like we're going to be quite far ahead of him in the championship now. And it seems Hamilton had a massive Grand Prix to finish in 5th, only, 7 seconds behind us after starting 20th, so that's good for him. But here we go, here's the championship standings, sitting in 6th, 2 points ahead of Bottas, so we've jumped him, only 3 points behind Massa. Hopefully we can get into the top 5. Didn't really expect that. I only expected to be challenging the Red Bulls, but 14 points ahead of, Ricardo now, who's kind of the goal I set for us, and I don't know, we'll have to see how it goes. Constructors, we should be sitting in 4th, sorry, as per usual. Yeah, there we go. We've actually jumped the Red Bulls there, 4 points ahead of them, so good effort from me and Nasir today. And that'll be it, guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and comment about what you thought. I hope I'm getting better at commentating and whatnot, but we'll have to see. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, goodbye.